All right, gentlemen, it is time to go to the gym. And gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of tired today. Part of the reason is myself being woken up, multiple times throughout the early morning by Kenzo, the little Shiba Inu that fucking needs breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning, or else he's gonna lose his shit. Despite the fact that he is like 30 pounds heavier than his breed is supposed to be. But yeah, I'm tired. Nevertheless, I want to try to get a nice pump for this chest and tricep day that we are going to do, this push day. I do push-pull legs, but I work shoulders on its own day, so I don't really group it in with the pushing portion. But nevertheless, Jesus, come on. I aim to get a lovely, lovely pump. So I don't really eat before I work out, but about 10 minutes ago, I had a banana. Yes, you heard that right. One banana. I was going to get some candy, so I thought, like, oh, that'll be some good sugar that'll, go right into my bloodstream and fill us up nicely. But I changed my mind and went for the banana. You might ask, why go for the banana? Well, because the banana has carbs and it has sugars, but it has sugars that it's not like simple sugar or high fructose corn syrup or anything like that. So the effect that it'll have on my insulin will be a little bit different. It's also more slow digesting. Not saying that it's super slow like a potato, but the sugars from fruit, they don't digest the same way that sugars from Skittles do. And a lot of it has to do with the insulin spike that it causes as a result of, sugar entering your bloodstream. But nevertheless, something a little bit slower digesting is going to give me something a little bit more sustained throughout the workout than just the Skittles. That if I eat the Skittles, I'm going to be like, whoa, got the sugar from the Skittles. But that type of sugar crashes pretty fucking quick. So I'm hoping for an extra juicy pump because of it. But yeah, I am tired. I could take a nap right now very easily. But I know that once I get that pre-workout in, I'll be fucking good. Start moving some shit. I'm going to get into the workout. I'll be super alert afterward. And I got bingo tonight, so it's going to be a good evening. But that's the plan. Let's see how close things are. Well, yeah, let's see how close things go according to plan. I tried thinking of exercises that I would do so I can talk about them now. I didn't really land on anything specific. I'm considering doing flat bench, and I'm considering that because it's a great strength exercise, but I also normally get a really good pump from benching. However, I'm not entirely sold. I do think that I want to do incline press. Not likely on a free bench, but likely on a Smith machine. So I have been doing that the past couple weeks, and I've been enjoying that. I also thought about dumbbell pressing, which I haven't done in a minute, but I do like the fact that I can take something like the Smith machine, and I can really try to push with my chest, and I don't really have to worry about this control stabilizing my shoulders I can just focus on, am I getting a squeeze up here and doing the reps. So that's one thing I kind of want to do. That's something that we're going to try to do. Probably incline Smith machine press. As far as the other movements, I'm probably going to get some flies in there. I actually kind of wanted to try dumbbell flies, which I never do, but I kind of want to do them differently. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the chest press I did at the end of my last chest video felt pretty fucking good, and that was on the cable machine with the Bosu ball behind my back. So I don't think I explained this, but having the Bosu ball behind my back with this machine, it makes it to where I have to push together more, so it's more of a pushing motion. When you take that ball away, I go back in the seat, and then it's more of a flying motion. So I do like to have a mix, but why I'm saying this is because when I do, or if I do, dumbbell flies, I'm going to do them more like the pushing motion than the flying motion. When you use a lot of weight, and not saying that I would need a lot of weight, but when you use a lot of weight on the dumbbell flies, if you have some shoulders like mine, it's very easy to hurt yourself with the dumbbell fly. So I don't really want to do that. But nevertheless, I saw some videos earlier. I'm like, man, you know what? I could do that. Maybe that'd be pretty cool. So who knows? We might try to do that. But I don't want to get too crazy. For the chest, like I said previously, like there's flying movements and then there's pressing movements. Both of them will work your chest, just the way they do it is a little bit different. I think it's good to have a mix of both in your workout routine, or just like if you don't have a regular routine, just be mindful of that. You might want to hit your chest from like doing both types of movements, and chest is one of those things that you really like. You can do a super in-depth chest workout and be doing chest for a while. Like you got your middle chest, you've got your upper chest, and then you got lower chest. So dips are like the greatest way to hit your lower chest. No one does decline press, like a decline bench. That the only purpose of the decline bench is to basically, it's like a weight rack. So all it does is just hold weights. I never really see anybody doing decline benching seriously. And the last time I decline benched, I remember I was going. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but then I came up and oh my God, almost decapitated myself. It's kind of dangerous, and I think that it's not really, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So it could be good if you are very proficient in it and you like it. Now, if you really love decline benching and you're like, I don't give a fuck what he says, I love decline benching, then continue to decline bench. Who am I to tell you not to? All I'm saying is that if you're looking for moves, if you're looking for exercises to do, or if you think that, I have to decline bench, you don't. A dip would do wonders for you. I would argue better than the decline bench. And you could also do dips for your triceps as well. For triceps, we are going to do press downs. And that's like the main tricep movement that really does, the lion's share of your tricep stuff. It's a tried and true exercise. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh my God. No. Oh, we're backing up. People got to cross right now. All right. But it's a tried and true thing. Similarly to, what I was talking about with biceps yesterday, there's not too many ways that you can work your triceps. Like, it's going to be presses. It's just going to be this motion. This. That's all it's going to be. So, however you could do this with a load attached, that's a tricep exercise. I'm considering doing the overhead tricep extension with the rope when I had it like this, like last time. I gave that one go before, so I think it would be fair to just give it another week and try it again to see if I like it. I do remember getting out of that position, because you have to grab the cables and then get it behind your back when I'm done with the exercise, so I'm fatigued and I gotta go and put myself, turn myself around. It was pretty awkward to get out of, so that wasn't the best. Typically, I like to just use I just like to use a flat bar or a wavy bar, and just straight. I don't know how to really describe it, but I put my glutes, typically my right one, I put that on the pole, and then I'm just the weight's going like this. So this is the cable, and I'm here, and then just weep, 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 and I like that, and that's how I've always done it. But I'm trying to mix some shit up, and yeah. So that's probably the game plan for the triceps. I typically like doing an isolation movement, like just with one arm. So I might do that with cables. I'm not a big dumbbell tricep person. Again, with the overhead with the dumbbell, I was doing that for a while, but that one tends to kind of hurt my elbow at times. So it's not my favorite. I just kind of do it because it's like, all right, here you go. But we've also got skull crushers. Skull crushers aren't bad either, but that'll depend on bench availability, and you also have the ability to, kind of bother your elbow when you do that. When you're doing skull crushers, the goal really isn't to get the weight above your eyes or above your head. You don't need to come up so far. As long as you have the stretch in the tricep and you go straight, basically your arms, when you're fully extended, it should be, if this is your head, that would be your arms fully extended. You stop right there. Hopefully that works. You stop right there. What most people do is they go down and then they extend and come up here. Now you can do that, but at that point you're no longer really working the triceps because you just have your arms extended and the weight's just sitting. That doesn't really take a lot of work for your arms, your triceps. It doesn't take a lot of work for them to support that weight. You got bones, so it's just pressing down on your bones. Those are doing the work for you. So, yeah. So we're going to do regular press downs, rope behind the back, and maybe another type of rope. Oh, I do remember for isolation, I remember doing them with the handle. That actually felt pretty good. So that might be the isolation movement we do to finish it off. But yeah, that's seeming pretty solid. I'm shooting for maybe four sets and reps. Again, I'm going till failure, but for something like a bench, I kind of want to fail a little bit sooner. So maybe like 6 to 8 on the, well, yeah, I would say 6 to 8. If I use a lot of weight, I'm okay with like 1 or 2 less. So like 4 or 5. Nah, not really 4. 5 to 6. But for everything else that I just mentioned, I'm trying to get to like between 6 and 10. Normally I'm shooting for 8. And yeah, but we'll see. If something's feeling better or feeling really good, and it's like, oh, I could do more reps like this, or I wind up doing more reps and, you know, it feels really good, then fuck it. Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do higher reps. You know, I don't really plan these things, but I really go off of feeling. So if something's feeling good in the moment and it's feeling like, oh, dude, I'm getting a fucking massive pump from this, then I'm going to keep doing it. You know, I'm not going to stop just because, like, all right, I said 6 to 10, so I got to 10. I'm going to stop. Like, that's not the purpose for rep ranges. You know, they're not like absolute stopping points. The idea of a rep range is like, by the time you've reached this rep range, your muscles should be fatigued, like you should be at failure. So that can vary. It's up to you. It's up to you to kind of know your body and like from pushing yourself, know like, okay, we can't do anymore. That whatever point that is when you stop. Okay? So on that note, we're gonna go the fuck inside. Ayo. Alright, so I have been seeing this, but I've yet to use it. I kinda wanna use it. So we're gonna warm up with this. Gonna do probably like 2 warm-up sets, but again, something like this, I'm gonna do 4 to 5 sets of. Especially if it's feeling good. If it's feeling like ass, then we'll do like at least 4 sets. Yo, I put my kratom down, and I didn't know that this shit doesn't move just straight up and down. Like this bottom part, it moves forward. So it crushed my fucking cup. On the way back down, I'm like, so we just cleaned that up because we clean up our own messes. We don't make janitorial staff clean shit up. We're adults. We can fucking clean our own things. Alright, after some warm-ups, this felt pretty interesting. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. It's a little awkward on the left side, but I think that's just because my left side is the weird side. But we're going to go 4 sets of this. I have more weight on there. Might go up, but it all depends on how this set goes. Chest feels full, but I don't know more than my triceps though. But nevertheless, we're gonna stick it here. My face and my ears specifically are on fire. If you look at the video, they should be red as shit. Okay. Ooh. I think that's 4. I did 2 warm-up sets, but I think that's 4. So we're gonna do 1 more for shits and giggles, and then move on. Okay. All right, we're done with this. Honestly, I kind of like that single arm more. I felt it in my chest. It just felt more concentrated. So when you added both sides in the mix, it can get a little muddy in the brain, or that could just be me. But nevertheless, yeah, just focusing on one side, that I felt the contraction. My triceps are fucking dumb pumped up right now. So I don't know how to feel about that because I was trying to work my chest, which got worked. But did my triceps do more? I don't know. All right, we're gonna do the incline Smith machine, 4 sets of this. I was over there, but you know, I saw this was open and it's best practice to something that's limited. Get that first, get that done first. I don't care if it's out of the order, do that first while you can because you don't know when it's gonna be available again, so. Now I know we were pretty high before, but something is telling me like just try more of an incline. Too much, and then it starts being a shoulder press. So we're at 60 degrees now, which is generally like the top end for incline bench. But I don't know, I just keep having this feeling. Let's rack this shit and do either flies or some tricep. Maybe we do tricep. All right, we're gonna do tricep push downs and we're gonna use this rope again. One more. All right, we're gonna do the overheads now because you always want to do like a tricep movement where your fucking tricep is already stretched. So from the stretch position, we're gonna do 3 sets of this. When we do these single arm, we're gonna do them a little bit later. We're gonna move on to a chest thing after this. All right, let's move on from this. Hi, beautiful. So we're at least gonna try the dumbbell flies. If these don't work out, then we're just gonna do some other type of fly, but we're doing flies. Oh. Okay. Oh man, wasn't too bad. We'll do one more set and then move on from this. Okay, Jesus Christ. There's a good chance I probably won't do that ever again. Just don't think it's worth it. Oh. Can't do it the other way. Oh. Boom. Oh. Boom. We're at least pumped up. All right, we're gonna do the one-handed fucking extensions this way. Starting off with the left side because that's the weaker side. Oh. Feels a little bit more awkward than when I'm on the inner cable. Kind of tough. I don't think it's worth. You know what? We've got it, so we'll throw it on. It does feel kind of better to step back just a little bit. For this set, I'm actually going to have my hand over hand. I think that's 3 sets. All right, we're going to do the free motion cable fly. I took the Bosu ball off, and we're just going to try to like bring our arm over instead of pushing. All right, we're using the posing area where you get all the thumbnails. Ooh. Ha. 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 There's also a mirror up here, which is pretty cool. So you can kind of see all that shit. Let's do like a full body one where you can see the illusion is gone. Whoop. Let's maybe go closer. Oh. Oh, damn. I don't really. Fuck my ass with a roll of quarters. Oof. I don't even compete, guys, because it wouldn't be fucking fair. Those first ones were looking good, though, at least from my perspective. Boom, boom. Oh. This place is fucking awesome. Look at that. And back up. So there's space. Ooh, Fat Boy Fitness right there. Woo! Let's just not, the left side, let's just not look at that. I can't really flex this side. It just like doesn't connect. I mean, that's looking like it's connecting, actually. Hold on. So, boom. Boom. Well, just for shits and gigs. Who the fuck is that guy? All right. We're getting the fuck out of here. Dude, how could you not feel good after that fucking pose session? Again, I don't know how it's gonna come out on the camera, but to me in person, or to me in my perspective, it was looking pretty fucking good, guys. Pretty fucking good. And again, Fat Boy Fitness here. This ain't anything crazy. I'm using regular machines. I'm just going all the way till failure. I got a pump and lighting, so I'm not. We have to give credit where credit is due. Pump and lighting definitely had a lot to do with it. That's one thing to consider. You might have heard this before, but when you're looking at people on social media and they have like this perfect picture, keep in mind that's probably like the 1,000th picture. They got the most perfect of the perfect ones with perfect lighting, perfect angle, pump. They don't walk around looking like that. If you saw a picture of them like 30 minutes to an hour later, you'd probably be like, oh. I mean, it still looks nice, but it's not as drastic as it might lead you to believe. But anyhow, that was really good. I liked that chest day. The triceps felt good. I really tried to like hold the contraction on the triceps, and I feel like that was really pumping up my triceps and doing work. Chest, I was really just trying to feel it. Now, I didn't really do much cable work this time, which that's okay. You know, if I do it every other time, you can have some variety in your workout. You don't have to do the same things every single week. In fact, it might be a good idea to alternate. You know, if one chest day you do a lot of fly stuff, well then the next chest day you do a lot of push stuff, you know? Just balance it out a little bit. Or maybe you do both in the same day. You just, you know, half your exercises are for flying and half your exercises are for pushing. It's totally up to you, you know, but you doing something is going to be better than you doing nothing. That's for sure. Yeah. So just do something. Do something. You don't need a whole bunch of fucking... You can get protein powder and creatine. Like, those things are fine. But, like, you don't need SARMs. You don't need fucking tests or anything. Especially if you're not competing for anything. What's the fucking point? You're just fucking up your own health. For what? I don't... And you know what? To you, it might be worth it. You might say, like, I don't give a fuck. I want to be the biggest guy ever. You know? Alright, go for it. But just be aware that genetics play a role, and you still got to work hard in the gym. You see people online comment, like, if they do see a video or a picture of someone that's got a decent amount of muscle mass, you know, they'll say like steroids or whatnot. That's a fucking cope. Okay, that person feels bad or inferior in some way, and that's how they cope with that feeling. But you could take steroids, and you still have to work out. It's not like you just take the steroids and then, you know, sit on your ass and then all of a sudden you look like Chris Bumstead. That's not how that works. So, those guys, it still takes a lot of work to get where they've gotten. You can actually have some pretty radical transformations, especially if you're a noob. If you're a noob and you're going from like 0 to hero, right in the beginning, like when your body is not used to this shit at all, dude, you can cut weight really fast and you can put on muscle really fast. Your body's going to start adapting neurologically to all the new movements, but you will just start putting on the weight. Now you will get, once you do that for a little bit, you will get to a point where you start to plateau and you kind of got to switch some shit up or be a little bit more, pay more attention to the fine details. But yeah, that's what really makes a difference there. Again, and also genetics is a big component. But I'd say, like, so I got my NASM certification, And I will say that it was $900 to read a textbook online, which if you're someone like me that's like ADHD, doesn't like to read, holy fuck. But I felt that I genuinely learned more from people online, from like influencer, or not, they weren't really influencers then, but like YouTubers. I learned more from them than I did my NASM course. And you just take stuff from different people and you go try it out. So you got to try it out. If you don't try it out, then you really don't know shit. So, you know, I will always, if you take someone with no experience saying something and someone with experience saying something different, I'm more inclined to believe the person with experience. And that's totally random, but like as far as jobs go, like from an employer perspective, you know, people graduate college and whatnot, and they do expect a job. And yeah, like trust me, I fucking been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And that's why I said extracurriculars and shit you do outside of school is so important, because experience, I think experience trumps honestly most things. You know, you got to get out there and try shit. And I used to think that the path, you know, I used to look down on like hands-on work and whatnot when I was younger. You know, my mom always told me like, oh, you're going to college. My college was paid for, but I still got student loans. I was an idiot, but regardless, graduate high school, go to college. I am actually more in favor for taking some time to get a job or learn some skills. It doesn't have to be like in a trade. It can. That's a great route, especially nowadays. And depending on where you live, like here in Tampa, we're building so much. Trades are fucking excelente. But take some time to learn some skills. Like I thought, I was also a realtor, and I had the thought that, man, if I would have just went for my real estate license when I was 18, where could I have gotten to? I would have learned sales. And sales, as a lot of sales is people skills. And people skills, the soft skills, they transfer to any fucking industry, any job. You have to work with people regardless. As frustrating as it can be, because people out there, oh my God, like, oh my God. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But they will have you questioning reality with just the terrible decisions that they make, or the amount of hand-holding they may need, or the things that they do. But regardless, being able to navigate people and understand what motivates people, what makes people tick, you know, how to handle conflict, those are all excellent skills that any young person should learn. Like if you don't know them, you should learn them. You know, I think that, and that's what I would tell my students, you know, hey, the ones that had those social skills, I had more faith in them that they would be able to go further because they have those social skills and they're able to make those connections. Because you can know nothing, right? Or you could be someone that makes, and everybody makes mistakes, but you could be somebody that makes mistakes. People are much more willing to give an opportunity to somebody who makes mistakes or help them when they actually like the person. But you could be the most, you know, you could know a shit ton about a given thing, but if people don't really like you, or you can't interact with people, you don't build those connections, you're the first one going. It might be frustrating, it might be sad. You might think like, oh man, the capability to do the job or perform the role should be what matters. Okay, I get it. But in reality, that's not the case. It's more about, navigating the social ladder and knowing people. But so that's going to be that rant. Next time we meet tomorrow, we are going to be doing shoulders. So I will see you for that. Remember to stay beautiful. Bye, a beautiful time.